Stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again? All right, we just replaced those. All right, we will proceed to open the public hearing. It is thusly opened. This public hearing is to receive public input on the installation of speeding deterrents at 63rd Place between Jocelyn and Jason Streets, to include but not be limited to speed humps, speed bumps, and raised crosswalks in the town of Cheverly. Is there a report that the town staff would like to deliver to begin?
Mayor, Traffic Engineer Jack Good should be on line as well, so I will defer to him.
Mr. Good, would you like to set the scene for us?
Yes. How's everybody doing? Okay, so on July 21st, Mr. Steve Brayman, Ms. Aja Prom, Councilmember Fry, myself, and 3 residents along 63rd Place, we walked between Jason Street and Jocelyn Place to look at speed humps as well as raised crosswalks. This is as a result of the speeding along 63rd Place, particularly from Jocelyn to Jason during the school year, as parents are dropping off their kids or picking up their kids from the school there. And there's been a notice of increased speeding in that particular direction from Jocelyn towards Jason, up that hill, basically. And so we walked the 63rd Place, and we, based upon the residents there present and staff and I, we agreed upon 2 locations for speed humps, and one is next to a utility pole in front of 3112 63rd Place, and another one in front of 3105 63rd Place. So basically, we agreed upon 2 locations. With those locations, there would be, accompanying warning signs at the locations of the speed humps and in advance. We also talked about a raised crosswalk at the intersection of 63rd and Jason, across 63rd Place. There's an existing crosswalk there. However, there's an existing gas valve in the middle of the crosswalk. So for right now, we're still keeping that as an option, the raised crosswalk, but Mr. Brayman wants to further investigate how do we integrate the gas valve, because basically the gas valve is right in the middle of the crosswalk and there's no way to install it around it, basically. So he'll need to follow up with the local utility company on how we can handle that as an option. However, in lieu of the raised crosswalk, I suggested a couple of options to help slow down the traffic heading to the school. One would be to clear the tree foliage in front of the existing stop sign, so kind of clear that out so people can see the stop sign. The other option would be to increase the stop sign size to a 48-inch by 48-inch or 60-inch by 60-inch. Obviously, through other increased stop signs in the town, they seem to help and gotten a lot of good reception from the residents. And I think those were 60 by 60, so that would be another option. Also, we talked about tightening up that corner radius at 63rd and Jason to slow down vehicles making a right turn. This would also help to shorten up that crosswalk length as well. And then one other thing that we talked about, and Mr. Brayman and I were out there, I think even back in April, was at the corner of 63rd Place and Jocelyn. Being Jocelyn is a downhill street. In order to slow down that traffic heading towards making that right turn on the 63rd, I recommended tightening up that radius through striping and tubular markers, and that could be another option, coupled with the 2 agreed upon speed hump locations along 63rd Place. So So that's my report for the 63rd place speed humps, and turn it back over to council.
Thank you for that, Mr. Good. Are there any, would staff like to add anything to the report before we go to council? All right, council, are there any questions about this block of 63rd Place between Jocelyn and Jason, the northern of the two segments of 63rd Place? Hearing nothing from the council at this time. Oh, Mr. LeGlow-Heck.
So this is in relation, at what point in relation to St. Ambrose?
Well, this is the back, this is essentially the back side of the St. Ambrose property, although there are houses on both sides of 63rd Place.
Oh, 63rd, okay, I'm not 63rd Avenue.
Correct.
Yes.
So this is the back leg of that notorious traffic triangle, or
Right.
square if you counted 63rd Avenue, but, sorry, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Hearing no other questions at this time, is there any public input from members of the community? I see something in the chat that I can't read.
Yes, there is. There is Sean's iPhone.
Okay. If you'd like to speak, you're welcome to speak at this time for 3 minutes.
Thank you for unmuting me. My name is Sean. I live in 3111, 63rd Place. Comms check over.
All good, go ahead.
Thank you. My wife initiated the petition through our council member, Amy Fry. We managed to get signatures of over 80% within 24 hours of receiving the petition where we had to get signatures. There's strong support from the street, and the only houses we didn't get signatures from were because they weren't home. There is a incentive system where there is you have a fee if you don't arrive at the school by a certain time, and so that drives people to travel faster on the street at the same time when folks are pulling out. And my wife, with our unborn child, has been almost hit twice. And we also have deaf residents on the street, and the majority of the families have small children. We don't believe that cameras will deter, and there actually needs to be physical traffic calming devices installed to make a difference before a tragedy happens that the whole town rejects. I'm grateful for the council's time, Public Works, as well as other interested attendees for their vigilance in this effort of keeping everyone safe. Over.
All right, thank you for that. Is there any other, and for those who might be watching at home, there is no one present in the gymnasium this evening for the hearing. So is there anyone else online who would like to speak at this time? Hearing none, is there, well, go ahead, Vice Mayor.
I just had a question, and I know we have this conversation with St. Ambrose regularly, but have we had a conversation this school year about this fee that they charge for late parents and how it is creating a traffic safety hazard in our town?
Not this year. We have not had a conversation specifically about the fee, but we have had a conversation about traffic safety and overall school safety. Right now, currently, the deputy chief and the lieutenant are meeting with the principal of the school and Minister Reeb Obi to discuss school safety, and that is a part of the discussion. So that's where we are now. I will make sure that communication is had about the late fee. One moment.
Thank you for that. Ms. Richards?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I do have a public comment that was submitted online.
That was-
Let me, if you don't mind, I'll read it to you. The public comment is from Zeba Hopkins. She starts, "I saw an officer, maybe Officer Brown, this morning at the top of Jocelyn and chatted with him for a couple of minutes. He said they are going to try and have more of a presence around that intersection during the pickup or drop-off times. I mentioned that the worst time is between 7:45 to 8 a.m. because the school is directing parents to go down Jocelyn. Jason is one-way heading west up the hill during this time. The speeding on Jocelyn is worse than ever. St. Ambrose has been pushing for increased student registration, and the number of students in each of the classes has increased over the past few years. This means more traffic on Jocelyn. While there are drivers who are cautious, there are many that speed down the hill, including many on their phones. The school continues to have a policy of closing the doors at 8 a.m., and there is a late fee. So that is an impetus for parents to get the child to school on time. I really try to avoid walking on our street during the drop-off and pickup times since we don't have sidewalks. My daughter Grace walks to school, and I have her leave the house at 7:40 a.m. because I feel things get dangerous a few minutes after that. I hope the town seriously considers some type of traffic calming on our street. This has been ongoing for years, and the situation is getting worse. Thanks for sharing my comments with the town."
Thank you, Madam Clerk, for reading that. Assuming that was is that the only comment that you received? Okay. Are there any other comments from anyone online? Mr. Galloway, any further comments from the staff?
No comments from the staff. I recommend that we go with the traffic engineer's recommendation.
All right. Council, any further comments? Mr. Cardenas, how are you?
Good, and you, sir?
Good.
Just wanted to add that we might not be doing those speed hump anytime soon. We're going to do our best if it goes through while we doing some new streets and curb and concrete. But if it happened, it might be until spring, unless we decided to do it, combine that with the projects that is going on right now.
Very well. We will ask Councilmember Fry to be in touch about the timeline for more specifics. I believe that concludes our hearing. We will keep the record open for, I believe it's 10 more days for anyone else in the town who would like to submit written comments to the town clerk concerning this matter. No, we will not vote tonight. The Vice Mayor asked a great question, should we vote? I believe we will put this on a work session or a town meeting agenda for the specific, vote to direct the building of the specific devices that are recommended. And I assume, what Councilmember Fry would want. If we know her input, I suppose we could vote tonight, but that'd be up to all of you, I guess.
This is Elizabeth Dolan, the one that originally submitted the petition on 63rd Place. So I've been in continual contact with Representative Fry, who I know is incredibly supportive of this. She did the walkthrough as well with Mr. Good and the rest of the Cheverly Town Works team. We submitted the original petition back in April, May, with the intent for the original traffic assessment to happen during the school year to better understand what that flow of traffic looks like. No movement over the summer on that. So now if we're hearing that it's going to happen into the spring, that's another school year that we're still having a lot of children and families on our street that are still impacted by a lot of intense speeding that's happening. So just a little bit concerned given the 80% of our street feeling passionately about this. Also Ward 6 Representative Fry, hearing our concerns, advocating for us. So we'd like a little bit of more explanation on why there's a delay in timeline and we can't proceed more quickly. Thank you. And I know I know she's not present tonight, but she's already specified exactly what she wants. And I know if you reached out to her and contacted her, she would be very supportive in moving forward quickly. Over.
All right, thank you for those comments. You have something?
Yeah, I'll say I have had conversations with Councilmember Fry as well about this same stretch, and she is definitely in support of traffic calming devices being inserted there. So she would definitely be in favor of this. So just wanted to make you all aware of that.
Okay, well, to conclude the hearing then, I'm happy to have us vote on it tonight if you want to if we want to have it on the town meeting agenda. We will need, pardon the pun, concrete specifics about what we're building. But we can do that. But anyway, that's not part of the hearing. But I'll leave that all to you to make the decision at 7:30 when we adopt the agenda. Vice Mayor.
I feel like in the past, the precedent has been that we vote at the end of the hearing, which I think is just what many of us expected tonight. So I'm curious if this is a change in the precedent or a policy change or something.
I mean, we can vote, I guess. It is a public hearing. We don't normally transact business during a hearing. But we can do that. I don't think there's any sort of departure required for that. But what are we voting on? What are the four of us voting on?
To follow the recommendations of the traffic engineer?
Which is what specifically? I mean, if there's a, again, pardon the expression, concrete motion to direct staff, yeah, we can't, yeah, exactly. It just needs to be very specific. I mean, it sounds like we've got two locations, so yeah, maybe we're halfway there.
The
Go
motion
ahead.
is that, well, I'm sorry, if I can.
No, go ahead.
All right,
John.
we're requesting speed humps at the two locations. So if there could be a motion made to give the staff the authority to move forward with installing speed humps at the two locations, that would be ideal.
And only two speed humps. Okay. And those are 12 and 05? Is that what I wrote down? I mean, that's what I wrote down. Is that right, Mr. Good?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. If anyone wants to make a motion, we can direct staff to do that very specific action. Go ahead.
I just have a comment that, picking up on what Mr. Cardenas said, that, and what the last resident commented, if we make this motion and we vote on this evening, is there any opportunity that this will actually get done before next spring, considering that evidently Councilmember Fry is in favor of this and the residents are clearly in favor of this, and we need to get this done as the school year is new and not in the spring when the school year will be almost, 75% complete.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yes.
We're going to make every effort to get this done. We have a lot of concrete and asphalt projects that we have in the forecast right now throughout town. What we're going to be in competition with, just to be completely honest with you, is the weather. After it gets a certain degree, that's going to be extremely difficult with us. And all the projects that we have going on right now, they take a little time with some grading issues, concerns, and et cetera. So we will make every effort that we can to expedite this process to try to have it done this fall. But, worst case scenario, if it's not done this fall due to weather concerns, then please bear with us and we'll get it done in the first thing in the spring. But, in the meantime, if we can't get this done, we can always install temporary speed humps, okay? People don't like them, but they get the job done. And right now, this is a safety matter, especially in the mornings. So I think that's something that we can be creative with if given the right timing. That's something that I can delegate under the authority of the code. So if it gets to a certain point in the fall and the speed humps haven't been installed, then we'll move forward with installing the speed bumps until they're installed. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah. No, I think, yes. I would recommend one of you put that in the motion, that we do the temporaries as soon as possible and the concrete, or the permanent, I don't want to use the word concrete because I don't know what it's made out of, the permanent one as, as soon thereafter as is feasible. Did you have a comment?
I was going to make a motion, so if Councilmember Tansey has a comment, you can go first.
I'm just thinking about sort of order of operations. I think putting temporary speed humps as soon as possible is good. I do think maybe we want to track whether or not that properly modifies behavior before installing the speed humps. I don't know, I don't have the sort of science behind that. If they're already demonstrated to do it to some meaningful degree, then I think we can vote on both, saying go with temporary ones with the assumption that we are going to build the physical ones or permanent ones expediently. But I guess I want to make sure that we have thought about what we will do if the same rules apply and people are speeding to get their kid to drop off at 8 a.m. What do we want to discuss what we would do next?
If I can, there's already been a precedent set on Lake Avenue with the installation of the temporary and then making it permanent. And, the speed bumps, if you will, did decrease traffic drastically, and traffic concerns were, eased. Since the installation of the speed humps or bumps there, we haven't had the complaints.
Okay.
So, it set a precedent, and the traffic behavior there altered with the installation of the speed bumps, then humps.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think, that's going to modify the behavior there on 63rd Place, which that's definitely what we want, considering how fast people are driving that early in the morning.
Yeah, but I thank you for that, and even just thinking about it some more. The reality is every person they petitioned was in support of this, and this is their road. So I'm in support of their recommendation. So if Vice Mayor Briner wants to make a motion, I'll be happy to second it.
You ready for motion there?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Motion to direct staff to install permanent speed humps on 63rd Ave as recommended by the traffic engineer, and if that cannot be done in all due speed, to use temporary speed humps until the permanent ones can be installed.
Second.
All right, the motion has been made and seconded to install 2 speed humps in the 6100 block of 63rd Place, specifically adjacent to 3112 and 3105, temporary first, and then as soon thereafter, the permanent ones. And it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The mayor casts the 4th affirmative vote. The motion is adopted. Is there a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
Motion to adjourn the public hearing?
Second.
There has been a motion to adjourn the public hearing, and it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Any abstentions? The mayor casts the fourth affirmative vote. The motion is adopted. The hearing is adjourned. All right, good night. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Please take your seats. I hereby call the September 11, 2025 Cheverly Town Meeting to order. The first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will have a moment of silence. Thank you for that. Yes, the next item of business will be to call the roll. I am here, the town administrator, the town clerk, the acting public works director, the deputy chief of police are all present. Is the council member from Ward 1 present?
Present.
Ward 2?
Present.
Ward 3?
Present.
Ward 4? Present. Ward 5, is Councilmember Garza present yet? I don't see him. Okay. And Councilmember Fry is absent this evening. So it's my understanding that Councilmember Garces will join us. So is there a motion from the council to excuse Councilmember Fry from this evening's meeting?
Motion to excuse Councilmember Fry, who is out of the country.
Second.
There's been a motion, and it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Not hearing any. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 4-0 with Councilmember Wade's vote. Item 3 is the approval of the agenda. Councilmember Tanzi, do you have a motion to amend the agenda?
Yes, I move to amend the agenda to move item number 8, the planning board appointment, later in the agenda because Brian Barnett Woods will not be able to attend until 9 o'clock.
Could I suggest we make that 9B
Wonderful.
after the committee reports? Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 4-0. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Can I add another amendment, please?
Oh, yes, Mr. Galloway.
Can we move the town administrator report below the public works report so that the police department can depart and the public works can depart as well after their reports?
A most generous idea. Is there,
Motion to amend the agenda to move item number 13 down to below item number 15.
is there a second?
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 4-0. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with the two amendments?
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 4-0. The agenda is adopted. Item 4 is the consent agenda, which consists of a single set of town meetings for the August 14, 2025 town meeting. Is there a motion? Is there any objection to the consent? Excuse me, to the consent agenda? Hearing none, the consent agenda is adopted. Item 5, resident input. This is an opportunity for any member of the community to speak for up to 3 minutes on any of the items on the agenda not underlined. So not on item 6, not on item 7, not on the planning board appointment, or on the ethics ordinance. Feel free to, let's use the microphone. Yes, please come on up. We'll take one from in person and then we'll check online. Or if you want to use the podium, that's okay too.
Okay. Sheila Solo, Ward 2, and I think I'm 3.3 minutes, so today we have 3 issues we believe deserve
Ms. Salo?
council's attention.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you go to the podium, please?
Can I do what?
Can you go to the podium, please?
Sorry, my bad.
Okay, is it on? Yeah, okay, good. All right. Sheila Salo, Ward 3, and I have 3.3 minutes. Today we have 3 issues we believe deserve the council's attention. We have previously alerted the council and community that Go Prince George's, the newest version of the Master Plan of Transportation, includes a reference to building a flyover linking Route 50 to Cabin Branch Drive. This interchange, proposed in the early 1950s by businesses building the warehouses along Cabin Branch Drive, was dropped after opposition by the town of Cheverly and its residents in the 1970s. That is why we have the upland wooded area owned by the State Highway Administration and through which Woodworth Trail runs. The Cheverly Green Infrastructure Committee is working together with the Cheverly Planning Board to draft responses to the inclusion of the interchange in Go Prince George's and will send the report to the council. Number 2, as you know, the Clean Water Partnership recently completed a stream restoration project along Red Maple Run, tributary 4. It is estimated that 10 to 25% of the trees planted to restore the woodland that protects the stream have not survived. Doug Alexander has spearheaded a project to supplement the CWP plantings using larger trees with a better chance of survival. It is unclear which of the many individuals and agencies working on the Clean Water Partnership project should report on its current status. It is also unclear what monitoring Cheverly is doing. The Green Infrastructure Committee asked the council to provide the community with a clear understanding of the state of and future plans for work in the area. 3, the county is studying the installation of a data center on the former Landover Mall site. The center can be expected to have negative effects on all the surrounding communities, including Cheverly. We should note that Maryland has enacted laws that make data centers exempt from environmental oversight by the Public Service Commission, further putting citizens at risk of negative environmental impact. In looking at their environmental effects, we should remember that the data centers must run 24/7. These effects would include the fossil fuel sources of electricity needed to run the servers and devices emit carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. These contribute to global warming and climate change. The heat generated requires energy-intensive cooling systems using large amounts of water, and the exhaust from the diesel generators needed for backup power contains particles known to cause cancer and respiratory, cardiovascular, and childhood development diseases. The Cheverly Green Infrastructure Committee urges the council on behalf of its residents to consider taking a stand on the data center issue. I did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salo. Is there anyone online? Not yet. All right, please come up.
My name is Kate Abbott, and I'm from Ward 1, and I have one topic but 3 questions. My reason for coming here today is because I knew there'd be a presentation on the Hospital Hill, or now Cheverly Hill, development, and I was just wondering if a decision had been made for relative to road access from Cheverly Hill into Cheverly. If it has been made, what was the outcome? If it has not been made, when will that decision be made? And will citizens still have a chance to participate? I'll leave it to you to answer.
Well, I'll just say briefly, we don't normally respond to resident input, but no decision has been made yet.
Okay.
And residents will definitely be included in the decision, which will be coming in a few months.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Joyce Jones, Ward 2. Just wanted to give 3 quick notices about community engagement. This Sunday, there will be a Ward 1, Ward 2 sort of block party at 1 p.m. Where the 2 wards meet at Tremont, in Tremont. Come on out, meet your neighbors. The second thing, I'm sure we all are getting excited about Cheverly Day coming, which is October the 4th. We'd love for you to stop by to see the Green Infrastructure Committee table. Next to that table, there'll be, for all of those who like to breathe clean air, there'll be a wonderful table from the University of Maryland talking about the air quality in our area. Spoiler alert, not so good. Come on out and find out for yourself. And number 3, 2 of the Green Infrastructure Committee members will be going 3 different days in October to take part in Sustainable Maryland Certified Tours. Cheverly is a Sustainable Maryland Certified town. We'll be going to Laurel, Maryland, Chestertown, Maryland, and Havre de Grace, Maryland, finding out what they're doing, and hopefully we can bring some more fun things back, which we'll talk about at a future meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Hello. Hope you're all well tonight. I'm Joyce Lang. I have been from Ward 4 for a few years, now Ward 6, which is really nice too. I'm here to talk about the Cheverly Women's Club as usual. We are stepping up our efforts for peace. We think it's really important in this world to make sure that the American experiment is successful. So we're asking everybody in the town, you don't have to be a member of the club, although that would be nice, but you don't have to be. We're asking you to keep your eyes and ears open for the seeds of peace that we are planting. You can find them in the newsletter. You can find them in the showcase right outside the foyer. We're already working with Maryland United for Peace and Justice. We're talking in the talking stages of working with the Greenbelt Rotary Club, which is doing a lot of peace work, and with the mayor of Greenbelt, who's supposed to be contacting me shortly. They actually have an event coming up related to peace. So we're reaching out tentacles so that this thing called peace grows. And we hope Cheverly is a big, big part of that. You can always contact me. I will tell the town at the community center, if somebody comes and wants a contact information for me, that's fine. You can give it out. And it's in the showcase, and it's in the newsletter. So you can find me, and you can come to my house and talk about peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lang. If there is anyone online who would like to participate in resident input, please try to put your hand up. Yeah, I don't see any yet, but please try to put your hand up. Go ahead.
I'm Matt Will from Ward 1, and thank you, Councilmember Tansey and Wade, who was online, for hearing what I'm about to say. You've heard this many times, but I'm going to repeat it, and thank you for taking the time to listen multiple times to this. In relation to Hospital Hill and the road access, just as a short reminder, the town survey that we did found residents do not prefer road access, but prefer linking with walkable access. Another reminder, that survey found that residents prefer, if there was even a discussion about road access, annexation was essential to that discussion, which makes a lot of sense as it could become a financial liability to us if we do not also benefit from taxation. And one preference that I would have, and I think many people on Lockwood who we are right next door to it, so we are face-to-face with the hospital every day, or the future beautiful development, would be to have some level of a green belt that connects us and the hospital property all the way down, all the way up, and a park in the Lockwood connecting point to make it a nice connection point, not a point that people just rush through on their way to Spelman or on their way to the metro or on their way to the new property, but more a space that can connect and create better economic development and social development for all. I think that's it. Thank you so much for all you all do. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Will. Still no raised hands online, so if you're online, please put your hand up.
Hello, my name is Melinda Carter. I'm from Ward 6. I'm here today to speak to you, the council, in reference to the sound barrier on Route 50. I am a 32-year resident of Cheverly, and this has been an ongoing situation for the Forest Road residents and many other roads as well, not just Forest Road. But at this point, it has just become such an irritant. We have, first of all, I think it's a safety issue. Safety because they're going 75 miles an hour. If they veer off that road by 10 seconds, they're in my backyard. My house sits directly behind or adjacent to 50. They built an on-ramp coming down from Tuxedo years ago, which they purposely stopped just feet away from where they would have had to put up that wall, and I think that was done purposely. I implore any of you to come and have coffee with me on my deck in the morning. It's unbearable. The sound, the safety, all parts of it is just ridiculous. Again, I fear for the residents. We have those large trees behind us, but they're not buffering anything. They're not buffering sound. They're not stopping any cars that would come off of 50. 2 weeks ago, one of those 70-foot trees fell and knocked down my neighbor's steps on her deck. That's how close this is to us. The trees are not being manned by anyone. No one's taking responsibility for the trees, the maintenance of the trees, the upkeep of the trees. They're old, they're falling. The guardrails are gone. There are no guardrails to help us. So we have nothing. We're like sitting ducks right there on 50. And it's just ridiculous. Someone has to take responsibility. And this is the third administration or the fourth administration that I've been up here asking for help. Someone has got to say, okay, it's us and let's do this. Not only is there a problem with the sound and the traffic issues, but my house personally is sitting on a slope. It's erosion, and it's going like this now. When I moved in, we had a flat backyard, and everything was beautiful. It was in the summer, and we couldn't see 50. It was beautiful. Now, time has passed, and my house is like the house that Jack built, and it's just leaning to the side. No one, again, wants to take responsibility for if there was a wall there, then that erosion would not have happened. My house wouldn't be on a landslide. And the noise, again, please just come have coffee with me on my deck. You won't be back. So I would just like for someone to take responsibility for having that sound barrier put up for safety issues, traffic issues, and just personal issues for my house, but that's not the real problem. That is the problem for me, but I just want to make sure that it's a safety and traffic issue that's paid attention from one of the administrations. This is my fourth administration, so here we go again. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay. Mr. Price, welcome.
Thank you. Fred Price, Ward 4, Old Ward 4. I just want to say thank you. At that last Civic Association meeting, it was mentioned that we had a pothole on the bridge coming over. And less than a week later, the pothole was filled up. Thank you, Deputy Chief, for that. And I'm very impressed with what Public Works has been cutting down the foliage and edging. Really looks nice over there. I tell people it's almost a new 4th Ward. Thank you much.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Are there any other comments from the public on any topic not underlined on the agenda? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is our invited special guest, County Council Member Shayla Adams Stafford. You are welcome to come to the podium. And I think what we had imagined for this evening is for you to give us an update, a welcome, your vision for your term, and then we will have some questions for you and try to carve out some time for the public to ask you some questions. So welcome to Cheverly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So happy to be here this evening. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Watson and the council for this invitation. Mr. Galloway, thank you so much for your communication. And I'm just so excited to work here in Cheverly. And there are so many important issues for us to discuss, and I may not be able to cover everything in this meeting. And also, my toddler decides to come awake at night. I think she knows when sun goes down, and she just turns into her little toddler self. So just all the screams and cries, she's okay. She's all right. I trust me. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to be here to talk to you all today. And I just want to also note, I'll be having a District 5 town hall via Zoom. It's going to be on September 17th. And that will be a Zoom webinar where we will be able to discuss 311 requests, really safety, public safety, all of the upcoming legislation that I have. So anything that we don't discuss today, definitely want to make sure that folks come out to that town hall so you can get some more information from me. And just another upcoming event before I dive into some of these topics. If you know someone that has been laid off from the federal government, we are hosting monthly federal worker resource hubs. And the next one is going to be tomorrow from 10 to 3 at 5000 Parliament Place, in which we're actually going to be focusing on helping folks transition their federal resume for private industry. Because what we're finding is a lot of our folks are going out with this amazing federal experience, and they're having a tough time translating that and really showing off what they know and transcribing it really for other industries. And so that's the focus of this month's hub. And again, that's going to be tomorrow from 10 to 3 at 5000 Parliament Place in Lanham. And what we're really trying to do is wrap our arms around our federal workers. They have been treated very poorly, and we need to ensure that we help them along this journey. And it's not going to just be a one-time job there, right? These folks are dealing with so many compounding issues, and so it's going to take several connections, and so that's why we're doing that monthly. So, it's been great being on the council so far, exciting. As soon as I got there, we actually had a little break there for the summer, but I was still hard at work meeting a lot with our Cheverly community. We actually convened a couple of meetings, but one of the meetings we held was specifically on public safety here on Columbia Park Road, and working with PEPCO and our public safety here in Cheverly to ensure that we have some effective monitoring and automatic enforcement there at that very dangerous intersection. So I'm happy to report we do have some updates there, and so I'm looking forward to continued partnership. But yes, I've been definitely hard at work pulling together some legislation that I'll weave into this discussion, but I'm certainly happy to talk about other thoughts that you may have as well. So in this upcoming session, I'm serving on several committees. I'm the Vice Chair of the Education, Workforce, and Development Committee, Planning, Housing, and Urban Economic Development, and lastly, the General Assembly Committee. I'm also on the Washington Air Quality Committee, which I know is a really important issue here, so I'm really hoping that I'll get some input from my Cheverly family and telling me and guiding me on what you really want to see there. And then also I'm on the Board of Directors for the Economic Development Corporation, and so I'm very excited about that. And so one thing specifically we're focusing on with education, workforce, and development is thinking about how do we really support a lot of our young people who are unemployed. So we have a very high percentage of unemployed young people, specifically here in District 5. They were giving us some of the data. And, we're adjacent really to District 6, where they're going to have the loss of Six Flags. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of young people that are going to need support in going into summer employment. And so we're looking for any ideas. I'll be talking a lot about how to support young people into possibly going into careers in technology. We're doing a lot of partnerships with organizations in the community to help spark that interest for a lot of young people. So, they asked me to provide some thoughts on the former hospital site in the Cheverly Hill development. So since coming into office, I've had the great opportunity to meet with developers. I actually got to go onto the site. It's so beautiful. I didn't get to go up to the top of the tower that day, but I hope to sometime soon. And, I'm really focused on helping to support the team in bringing the quality retail that Cheverly deserves there. And so we actually, you all deserve the best. And so we don't want to shortchange you. And so we're actually putting together a retail advisory group in District 5. And this retail advisory group is really going to be going out and talking to the best throughout the country and talking to realtors and commercial developers and talking about, what we want to see here in this community. And so that group is forming. We'll have an application that will come out, but if you know folks that have planning or retail experience or just generally are interested in bringing quality retail, we're going to ask them to apply. I've had some conversations with just other folks around the possibilities of bringing a Trader Joe's or even Whole Foods to this region and just trying to get an understanding of sort of where they are in the market, if they're interested in coming to this area. And so I've been in communication with the developers, just telling them some updates that I've heard. And, I want to really think about and hear from you. What do you want to see there? I actually have a survey called Landover Reimagined, but we'd still love for you to fill it out, and you can indicate that you're in Cheverly, but that's where we're really asking people, what do you want to see, not only in the Northwest Stadium site, but really throughout this region. And so I'm looking for a lot of participation on the retail advisory from the Cheverly community. So just some other just specific updates. I have requested an update from DPI regarding the demolition of the church on State Street, but they haven't responded just yet. And so I'm going to be sending this to the council as a whole and working with my director of constituent services. So many of you met Josh. Josh, stand up. Let them know. Everybody's probably talked to Josh at some point. But we're working on getting you some answers there. So, lastly, and then I'll open up for questions here. The data center. So I've gotten tons of emails, calls, texts about the planned data center for the Lerner property. And I think everyone knows my position. You probably have gotten my email or mail about this, but I am deeply concerned about the possibility of a data center being put on that Landover Mall property. And the primary reason is because it's so close to residential areas. And, it's not that data centers aren't a great revenue generator for the county, and we certainly need it right now because we're having so many losses. The concept of putting something like that so powerful close to a residential community, I don't think that that's something that I can, really fully support at this time. And the concept, one thing I want folks to know is that this was passed and fast-tracked before I got into office in 2021. And so what I'm really doing now is just hearing from the community about their concerns on this and trying to work with other government agencies to relay the concerns of what is happening there. And so I think it's going to be challenging for that company to get the amount of water there and the amount of power there that they would need to actually make that data center work. And so, I am just, again, working with our county executive, who also does not think that these things in residential areas are the best location. And one of the things and the concerns that I've expressed is, we've experienced really significant challenges with our grid here, right along the Route 50 corridor. I mean, just recently we had a boil advisory here in Cheverly. If you remember, just this summer, we've had blackouts here throughout the summer. And so it's really important that, we understand that this data center in this particular site, so close to a residential area, because there's actually going to be a lot of other development happening across the street from there, apartments and condos, it's really going to be a tough drain on our grid. And so that's, for that reason, I certainly am really advocating that we, to my colleagues and to other agencies, that we take more time to study what data centers, where they should be. And my number one point of advocacy, everything that I've drafted around this, is around the fact that they shouldn't be near schools or residential areas. So thank you. So I think, you said you had some questions, Mayor Watson. Yeah, sure, I'm open for that.
Well, yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that presentation, and again, thank you for your generosity with your time
no
tonight, and really the whole time you've been in office.
Oh, thank you.
I think the only other item that I had on my list was the Cheverly Station Apartments cameras. And so I just going to put that out there as an issue, that we continue to work with the property developer, the property manager, on the security cameras for Cheverly Station Apartments. Regrettably, I don't think Councilmember Garces is on. He's the expert on the issue, but we'll be in
Is it
touch.
that they need them?
Yes, it's that they need to come into compliance with the
With the
county's
law.
requirements. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Exactly.
so what is needed? They need support in getting their cameras to be
They
in
need
compliance.
encouragement to
Enforcement.
Oh,
get the cameras
oh,
put in.
enforcement,
Yes.
encouragement. Oh, okay. No problem. I don't have a problem knocking on the doors now. I
Yeah.
go over there and
So
ask
we
the
will keep that
questions.
on your radar screen, and we'll be in touch with the office.
Okay,
and,
sure.
Call
That's
on
no
you again as we need. So thank you for that. Council, do you have, including Councilmember Wade or Councilmember Garces, do you have any issues? We'll start with the Vice Mayor.
I don't have any issues, and I don't want to take time away from resident questions. I just wanted to say thank you. If you're not aware, Councilmember Adam Stafford cleared, I think, $60,000 worth of debt for children for school lunch. I don't think school lunch should cost anything at all. School lunch should be free. But being in debt for school lunch is a real problem for a lot of our families, and Councilmember Adam Stafford made that problem go away for a lot of students. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And if I can just say one thing, so that is part of our PGCPS Foundation. And we actually have our chair of the board of the PGCPS Foundation here. He's here, Mr. Proctor. And what I'm trying to do, I don't know if he wanted to be acknowledged, he's just trying, hey, hello, there he is. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise that foundation to really be an endowment, right? Where we could actually clear the lunch debt off of the interest of the endowment. And just like people give to the United Way, you could give to the PGCPS Foundation out of your check, like how folks used to do with CVC or United Way. And that's what other counties do. They have an endowment, and that the interest off of the endowment clears that lunch debt every single year. And so I did that really to try to inspire the business community and all of our stakeholders to contribute to this great foundation that gives so much to our young people every single year. And thank you, Mr. Proctor, for all the work you do there.
That's wonderful. Council, yes, please raise your hand if you have anything. I think we're going to have time for one or two questions from the audience. So
Okay.
if anyone in the audience would like to line up at the microphone, feel free to do that now.
Come on up here,
Councilmember Tansey, go ahead.
somebody's crying. One of these children. My little baby's at home. I hear the 2-year-old screaming. Okay, she's
David,
calm
go
now.
ahead.
So
Okay, David. Oh, David. There we go.
thank you again for
Yeah, no
coming. I noted both that you have or are creating a retail advisory group,
Yes.
and also that you are on the board of directors for the Economic Development Group. So I'm very encouraged by that. Just want to point out that Walgreens closed.
Yes.
It took some doing to get the owner to put up a for lease sign. And so one of the issues we have is some of the owners of these properties are not local. Some are even on the other side of the country. So I would love your help and leadership in figuring out how we facilitate development and the level of utilization we want beyond the hospital.
Come on.
Everything in the immediate Cheverly area.
Yeah, I actually have something specifically on that topic. Thank you. Come on up here. All right, everybody, this is Soraya. She's 2. Yes. So something that I've talked with the county executive's office, and this is Layla. She's very thankful for your little library outside. She's reading the books from there. Thank you. The land value tax is something that the county executive and myself and other council members are looking into. But basically, if you have held a property for a very long time and has not been improved or developed, you should pay more for that. And actually, that's what they've done in Baltimore to try to spur development as well. And so, a lot of folks own land here, and really land ownership is the cornerstone of development, and that's something that I really am realizing as a council member. And so one other really important thing that I'm focusing on is, I see it too. Okay, come on over here. So one thing I'm focusing on is community wealth building. So it's not just about these landowners owning these parcels and then we have to wait and convince them of what we want, but if we can support the concept of the community owning parcels of land, or them selling a part of it back to Cheverly, right? What if they sold a parcel of that land back to Cheverly and you all could all invest in it, and then everyone in Cheverly could reap some of those profits? And so we're working with organizations on community wealth building, basically for every development project that we're coming encountered with, to try to find out, is there a community wealth building component to it? Even, allowing residents to buy into like the REITs that manage some of these centers, you can be getting a profit too from that, and I think that we do have a lot of interested community members in that as well. Yeah, no problem.
Let's go to Ms. Sallow. We'll try not to, we're going to play it by ear, but go ahead, Ms. Sallow, and then we'll go back to council. Right where you are, try it. Just speak right into the mic.
Welcome to the
Thank you.
You mentioned, I think, the Washington Air Quality Committee. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, can you, I'm not tall enough. Can you say a little bit more about that, please?
Honestly, I'm so new. They have assigned me to many different groups, but I know that I'm on that group. We haven't convened yet, but any information and data or documents or reports that you have that you can send to me, I'd love to get those so that when I do go, I'm prepared to talk about air quality in my district. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Ms. Sallow. Councilmember Wade, if you're able to unmute, I think your hand is up.
Yes. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Check one, check one. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Awesome. Sorry I'm not there, but thank you, Councilmember Adam Stafford, for coming. Really appreciate you coming to Cheverly. Just want to emphasize the importance of the data centers, where the fact that it's definitely a revenue generator, but because, as mentioned, it's in a marginalized community as well as a urban community, that is not any place for a data center to be. So I look forward to any way I can assist to work with you to make sure that it's not at Landover Mall, but maybe somewhere else in the county. But thank you again for your leadership, and look forward to working with you.
All right, council, do we have any other, how far do we want to push our luck? Do we have any other comments or questions for the council member?
I think we want to get that little girl home.
All right, well, thank you so much again for your time. Could we take a quick picture? Bring the girls. All right, that will take us to item 7 on the agenda, which is the Cheverly Hill discussion. Let's invite the development team to come up to the podium. And then if you want to give us 15 minutes of the top lines, and then we'll ask some questions from the other stand-up mic. We're probably not going to get a picture with you guys, if that's all right.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Mayor Watson, for having us. It probably won't be 15 minutes, unfortunately, because there's not so much in a way of an update. I believe we were last here in June to provide an update on the preliminary plan of subdivision. First, I'm going to describe what's happening on site and what has happened since June. We've been finishing off the interior gut of the bed tower, so the structure that the helipad sits on. We've been going out and ripping out all of the interior non-structural walls and all the mechanical systems, all the rest. So if you were to go up to, there today, and we're happy to have you guys on site anytime, you'll see that it's basically bare bones structure. And then in short order, our demolition contractor is going to start on the removal of the slabs and foundations and getting the site to an interim stabilized condition. So essentially doing a little bit of earthwork on site once to dig out those slabs and foundations of the existing hospital complex, at which point they will backfill them and get it to a stabilized condition. And it will sit until new infrastructure is ready to start being constructed. On the preliminary plan of subdivision piece, we have received a next round of comments from Park and Planning. That was just last Thursday, I believe. We've digested them. They're pretty minor, so we're getting very close, but we're not there yet. It requires at least one more submittal. And in the meantime, we've been going through the concept stormwater submittal with DPI. As part of that process, they both reviewed the stormwater, the conceptual stormwater plan, which we have essentially approved at this point, and also looking at the roads that we are proposing on site, which we have presented to the Cheverly Public Works, the Department of Public Works with the county, DPI, of course, and Park and Planning with the county. Both of those things need to be approved for the preliminary plan to be accepted, and it's likely the second piece, the concept stormwater piece, and the road approval that's going to be critical path. We're looking like ideally end of October, sometime November, when we get accepted. We're going to be resubmitting both packages here as soon as end of next week. And we are happy to share all the materials that we have to date, all the comments that we've gotten. You'll note that nothing material has changed at the plan or at all. It's really sort of administrative notes and comments and whatnot.
Okay, thank you very much for that overview. Gentlemen, do you have anything to add? That's good? Okay. Council, let's go to you first. And Council, did you have your hand up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with Mr. Galloway, and then Councilmember Wade is online as well. Go ahead, Mr. Galloway.
Mayor and Council, I do want to bring you all up to speed on some great news based off of our working relationship with Home Team 5, the town of Cheverly. We have received a $400,000 grant for bike trail connection from Hospital Hill and Cheverly to the Anacostia River Trail. So this grant was awarded by MDOT, and Mr. Picari, if you could provide a little bit more details, but this was a lift that we did in a short time. Definitely shout out to Ms. Aja Prom for her assistance in getting us over the hurdle there. And it was just a complete team effort. But we've worked together and we've done this great thing, and I look forward to our continued partnership and relationship as this project progresses.
Excellent, thank you for that. Okay, Did you want to say anything?
Just very briefly, Mayor, John Porcari, resident of Ward 1 in Cheverly, and as Administrator Galloway pointed out, this really is the missing link for Cheverly. This is the grant award is actually for an interim trail connection to make it safe to use while a more permanent connection is designed. So if you can conceptualize it, basically going from Lydell Road and Kenilworth Avenue, up Kenilworth Avenue to 52nd Avenue, crossing 52nd, and south on 52nd from there. And I would point out that connection is part of the original intended connection of the Anacostia Trail. So we're getting back to that. And as Administrator Galloway pointed out, Aja Pram did a tremendous job in putting together a great grant application that turned out to be the biggest winner by far of all the statewide grant applications. So well done.
That is fantastic. Yeah, please pass Mayor and Council's thanks to Ms. Pram and the rest of her team for doing that. That is fantastic. All right, we're going to go to Council now. I think. Did you have anything else? No.
Nope.
Okay. We're going to go to Council, and then Chuck and John, if you wouldn't mind moving the microphone over. Yeah. And then if folks in the room want to line up to ask questions or give comments on the Cheverly Hill project, we will get to that shortly. Are there comments from Council? Oh, Councilmember Wade, I guess correctly that you might have some input.
Yeah, just one quick thing. Thank you again, Home Team 5, for coming out. Thank you to town staff. This is great news regarding the grant. Just want to confirm your attendance for this upcoming Cheverly Ward 1 and Ward 2 Community Day. This is a great opportunity for Ward 1 as well as Ward 2 residents to get input and information. Thank you for your participation in the past, but we definitely want to get your confirmation that you'll be able to attend that from 3 to 5 on this upcoming Sunday.
Yes, thank you very much. I very unfortunately have my first prenatal baby class with my wife, but Chuck will make it there, so we'll be in attendance. Thank you.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
and just
you.
also this publicly, thank you all for participating in the Ward 1 Annual Community Day as well, providing that information. Thank you again for that, and congratulations to you. Look forward to speaking with you in person on Sunday to talk more with Chuck.
Thank you for that. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised no one's lined up to speak. All right. Council, did you have anything else at this time, or should we go to Kate? All right, we'll keep our powder dry. Ms. Abbott.
Kate Abbott again, Ward 1. The question, you said that you're submitting your plans and it's going through the process. I'm curious, do you submit the plans with and without the roads, or only with the roads?
So we are showing the roads on our plans, and it's an opportunity through the mandatory referral process through Park and Planning for the town of Cheverly to formally respond. The plan works with or without the connections. It doesn't have to be amended very much, but we are showing the roads on our plans.
The suggestion of a park that connects between the two, have you considered that?
We've not considered that. Really, again, what we've presented in the past about those road connections and supporting the retail that I think we all desire to be on site, we think it's critically important. If those road connections are not made, we'd have to study it further.
Okay.
Ms. Sallow, I think you're up.
So, yeah. And you did mention being happy to share the plans and comments. And so I just wanted to make sure that when they're shared not only with the town, mayor and council and staff, but the entire community. And with that, if you could put in the map for the interim trail route.
Yeah, I'm assuming we.
I'm sure there was a map that went with the.
Yep.
That went with the grant.
The trail to the interim bike connection.
Yep. Is that-
Yeah, I'm sure we have a map that, yep,
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
of course.
I guess along those lines, is there anything additional that you could add to the website? Or just think about anything additional you could add to the website, obviously viewable to the entire universe, but it might be helpful to members of the public who are looking for information.
Yeah, absolutely. We can look at that.
Go, Matt.
Yeah, just to state, I don't think we've ever seen research about the economic impact of linking the roads to the retail benefit. You just said that it was a fact and there you've studied it and there's been research. I don't think we've ever seen that research. The economic study didn't actually go into that. What we've heard is you talk to some good retailers around who mentioned that. And I would challenge that premise, that that has been researched and there's evidence that shows that, because it's like a 2-minute link from places in Cheverly to get there. But I would say likely the property value that the Hospital Hill development will have, if there's a perception of the link to Cheverly, is a lot higher. Our property value compared to surrounding areas is much higher. So there is a great benefit for the development and the property value if there's a link to Cheverly. Maybe $100 million difference just with the back of the envelope calculation. And so I think that is a great benefit for the developer. I'm not convinced there's a great development for the economics of the retail or Cheverly with the roads. And that has not actually ever been proven through any research that anyone's ever demonstrated or shown. But we continue to go off that unvalidated assertion. I don't know if you want to respond to that, but that's what I've seen over the last 3 years as a researcher that works in development, economics, and social. So go ahead and respond.
Yeah, happy to. I didn't mean to make it sound scientific in terms of the data of the retailers. It is really stemming from those conversations that you referenced that we've had with local retailers and the importance that they put on really roofs, households in direct proximity to their retail establishments. What excites them is the town of Cheverly, not just the development.
All right, anyone else is welcome to come up to the microphone. If anyone's online, I don't see your hand up and I'm not aware that you're trying to speak, so please make yourself known. Again, if you're online and would like to either make a comment or ask a question. In the interim, I will just go ahead and say, first, thank you for everything that you're doing on the project. Number two, thank you for joining our efforts with the Redevelopment Authority, who, let's all remember, is still the owner of all of this land, to keep it clean, specifically to address dumping issues. I know it's a fight that you and us are fighting, and so we appreciate your help in getting the property owner to maintain their property in the manner that their Cheverly neighbors would like. And then I'll just make the announcement that it is our intention to direct that the town attorney and town staff proceed to prepare annexation paperwork for a number of parcels on the west side, including all of the relevant parcels on the Cheverly Hill property. And I think the public will see a written proposal from this council in a month or two. That is a very long process by most standards. A lot of ordinances we just get through in 3 months. This will be a little bit longer. There will be, because it's a charter amendment, so it will be, first of all, exhausting detail about lines and roads and line segments, et cetera. So all of that will have to be double and triple checked and then spelled out. And then there will be a public hearing in addition to the standard 3 readings for the annexation ordinance. So that is, I wanted to be transparent that that is the direction we are heading, and you will likely see something from us before the holidays or right around, starting around the holidays, I would guess. Again, I don't have to write it, and I don't have to do the measurements, so I can't speak for their work. But we expect that to be ready in a matter of weeks or a couple months. Council, I didn't know I would get anything. Anything to add, council, or questions for the team while they're here? Councilmember Wade, you're good? I don't see your hand, so. All right, thank you all. We appreciate.
Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll just ask to excuse myself going forward. Sorry for the noise in the back. I'm still at work, so I need to excuse myself to get back to work.
All right, I appreciate that. We'll let the town minutes reflect that you are departing the meeting at 8:26. Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Be safe. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. We appreciate your help. Okay, moving on. We are going faster than I thought, which is good that we amended the agenda. So the next item actually is committee reports. Is there any report from the Recreation Council? I feel certain that there is a report from the Cheverly Day Committee because it is 27 days away or so.
Indeed. So the Cheverly Day Committee is meeting weekly at this point. So we are meeting weekly on Wednesday evenings. Things are proceeding apace. Parking permits are being issued to various groups. Groups will be allowed in to set up their various tables and spots along going down towards the fields and the new buildings. The midway will be set up. We are securing various vendors and things like that. Things are moving forward with that.
Yeah, I think the deadline if you're a community group and you don't yet have a table, I think you have 4 more days to sign up for an information table. These are free. Of course, all the community leaders that I see here tonight have already done it, so I might be preaching to the choir, but those are free for nonprofit community groups, and there is a nominal fee for politicians, political parties, businesses, et cetera.
Yes, that is correct. The deadline for securing a table is September 15th. The deadline for donating at a higher level wherein that you would want a sign, we are hoping that that deadline would be also the 15th, because if you want to have a sign, we would need time to print that. But we will take all donations, and we would hope that everyone will donate to Cheverly Day. As everyone knows, this is a volunteer-run organization, and we undertake Cheverly Day on the backs of our volunteers and with the help of our great town staff. And so we hope that everyone will come out and support Cheverly Day in whatever means they are able to do so, whether that's financially and just coming out and enjoying the day with your family. And it's always a great day to come out and enjoy Cheverly's birthday on October 4th.
All right, thank you for that. Any questions for Councilmember LeGlow-Heck or the Cheverly Day Committee? Mr. Garces.
Has the outreach for Cheverly Day started already, as in Cheverly Station Apartments specifically? I think I'm asking for them. And also, if you need the contact for the regional manager, she's more willing than to spread the word for you guys at Ward 5 and 6.
I am not aware, but I will bring that up with the committee at the next meeting.
All right, hearing no further questions, Planning Board.
We had a meeting last night. The Planning Board recommended that Brian Barnett Woods be made a member of the Planning Board, and that's on the agenda. Joyce, who is the interim chair, made it clear that she is ready to transition leadership. So the next meeting, the board will have 6 members, and the hope is that they will be discussing who will be chair, co-chair, and secretary. So there is some discussion about imagining what norms they want to establish as a group. They also finalized something they've been working on for a few months, which is a list of questions for the Hospital Hill developers, broken up by category, about 10 different categories of questions. Some of it is environmental, ADA accessibility, ownership versus rental breakdown, things like that. So I shared that. That was just finalized last night. I shared that with the mayor and the council so that that might inform our future requests of the hospital team. That is all.
Any questions for our planning board representative, Councilmember Tanzi? Excellent. Thank you for attending the meeting. Next is the Board of Elections Supervisors. I don't see them. I believe they met this week, last night, 2 nights ago, perhaps. I know that Supervisor Bruff was not able to join them for her first meeting, but they are at full strength now. If they are indeed not here, we will move to the Ethics Commission. Mr. Rule, are you able to unmute?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay, excellent. Mr. Mayor, council members, good evening. Brief report from the Ethics Commission. First off, I was not aware until a couple of weeks ago that the State of Maryland Ethics Commission does perform a preliminary review of proposed ordinances relating to ethics. I did send the copy that is going to be on the table here soon to them. They had no problem with it. Everything's good to go. So no hiccups there, and the state is very happy with it. Also, the Ethics Commission, we're setting up a meeting for the 29th of September, and that is where we will hopefully approve our internal guidance document. And other than that, we have no other business to tend to at this time.
Great, thank you. I believe you have a full bench of members, but if you do not, please let us know. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're fully staffed right now, and if anything changes, we will certainly let you know.
Excellent. And will you be, I don't want to predict the meeting, but will you be, are you going to elect new leadership? Are you going to permanentize your chairmanship? Or you don't know yet?
I believe that's going to be discussed once we approve that document. That starts the clock on one-year terms, and so we'll put it up to the entirety of the commission to elect officers as outlined in the new document.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you for that. Council, any questions for the Ethics Commission? All right. Thank you, Mr. Rule.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care of yourself. Hometown Heroes. Is that you, Mr. Galloway? Nothing?
No updates at this point. I do know at the work session, we probably will be presenting some more nominees for flag raising. So we'll wait till the work session and have a broader discussion about it.
This might be a question for for Luis, but for Mr. Cardenas. But are the mounting is okay for now? I mean, I know that we had to kind of like reverse engineer it and add it to something it wasn't designed to do, but it's going okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent. Any questions for town staff about Hometown Heroes? All right, go ahead, Mr. LeGloahec.
Am I remembering that we voted on another set of Hometown Heroes at our recent meeting? Or that we were going to vote on another set of Hometown Heroes?
I feel like we did in July, maybe, or June.
And that we were going to have a more in-depth reading of those names at a...
Yes, we will. We'll do that at the work session.
Okay, that'll be done at a future work session. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do think that there were 3 or 4 new ones that have not appeared in real life yet that we approved.
And just so that you know, we're going to install and take down twice a year.
Got it.
Okay.
So it'll be a 6-month rotation.
Well, it's going to be a year rotation.
Oh, I see. I got you.
It's going to be
Staggered.
Yeah, it's going to be a year rotation.
A 1-year
but,
staggered term.
You know,
Okay.
in order to make use of the equipment that we're renting, because it's costly, we want to make sure that twice a year we have the opportunity to put them up and take them down. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you for that clarification. I had forgotten about the timeline. All right, hearing no further questions, that concludes committee reports. Council, do you have any objection to me moving on to the closed meeting summaries while we wait for Mr. Barnett Woods? If you want to make a motion.
He says he'll be here by at least 9, so, or a little early.
Okay. Up to you. All right, unless, hearing no objection, I'll move on, and I will skip to what was printed as number 10, and then we'll go back to Mr. Barnett Woods' nomination. So I will now read in exhausting detail 3 summaries of recent closed meetings that the mayor and council held in accordance with 3305B of the Maryland Annotated Code. I will read them in chronological order, starting with August 11th. On August 11, 2025, the mayor and council voted unanimously to convene a closed session pursuant to Maryland Code 3-101, etc., of the General Provisions Article Open Meetings Act. The closed session was convened at the conclusion of a special meeting at 7:30 p.m. by motion made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember LeGloahec. The vote was unanimous by the council members present to hold a closed session. The reasons cited were 3305B1 to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals, and also 3305B7 to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. The closed session was convened at 8 p.m. Those present were the entire mayor and council, Delane Galloway for part of the meeting, Police Chief David Morris for part of the meeting, Deputy Police Chief Kraus for part of the meeting, and Jason Deloach, Esquire, the town attorney. During the closed session, the mayor and council were briefed by Attorney Deloach about an investigation he concluded of allegations made by an employee. The chief and deputy chief reported on their involvement with the investigation. Mr. Galloway briefed the mayor and council on his position on the issues raised in the complaint. Attorney Deloach provided advice on how to proceed based on the outcome of the investigation. A motion to adjourn the closed meeting was made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Fry. The motion passed unanimously. The closed session ended at 9:57 p.m. Moving on to August 20, 2025. On August 20, 2025, the mayor and council voted unanimously to convene a closed session pursuant to Maryland Code 3-101 of the General Provisions Article Open Meetings Act. The closed session was convened at the conclusion of a special meeting at 7:34 p.m. by motion made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember LeGloahec. The vote was unanimous by the council members present to hold a closed session. The reasons cited under the law were 3305B1 to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals, and also 3305B7 to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. The closed session was convened at 7:46 p.m. Those present were the entire mayor and council, Delane Galloway for a portion of the meeting, and Jason Deloach, Esquire, the town attorney. During the closed session, the mayor and council discussed recent events surrounding a specific employee and potential discipline. Mr. Galloway reported on the events involving the employee. Attorney Deloach provided legal advice on options available to the mayor and council. After discussion, the mayor and council voted to take disciplinary action against the employee. No other matters were discussed and no other actions were taken. A motion to adjourn the closed meeting was made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Tanzi. The motion passed unanimously. The closed session ended at 8:50 p.m. And I will conclude with September 4th, 2025. On September 4th, 2025, the Mayor and Council voted unanimously to convene a closed session pursuant to Maryland Code 3-101 of the General Provisions Article Open Meetings Act. The closed session was convened at the conclusion of a special meeting at 7:06 p.m. by motion made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember LeGloahec. The vote was unanimous to hold a closed session. The reasons cited under the law were 305B1, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. And also 305B7, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. Those present were the mayor and council, excluding Councilmember Fry, who was excused from the meeting. The vice mayor, partial, Delane Galloway, Jason Deloach, Esquire, for part of the meeting, Todd Pounds, Esquire, for part of the meeting, Police Chief Morris, for part of the meeting, and Deputy Police Chief Kraus, for part of the meeting. That is a correction. During the closed meeting, the mayor and council received a report from the town administrator addressing certain employment and personnel-related legal issues raised to the mayor and council by a specific individual. Mr. Galloway addressed each issue raised along with questions by the mayor and council. The mayor and vice mayor reported out on a personnel meeting. Attorney Deloach addressed legal questions from the mayor and council and advised legal advice on the issues. Chief Morris and Deputy Chief Kraus reported on a personnel matter regarding a specific employee in the police department and provided how they will proceed on that matter. Todd Pounds, Esquire, town attorney, provided an update on ongoing litigation regarding annexation and the timelines associated with that litigation. No actions were taken during the closed session. A motion to adjourn the closed meeting was made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Tanzi. The motion passed unanimously. The closed session ended at 8:50 p.m. All three of these closed meeting summaries will be appended to the written meetings of this September 11 town meeting in writing. Yes?
I'm just asking for a spelling correction on my name on the first two summaries.
Yes. Please, staff, ensure that Councilmember Gloahec's name, or maybe this is for Mr. Deloach, that the Councilmember Gloahec's name is spelled correctly in all three. I believe it was spelled correctly in the third one and incorrectly in the first two chronologically.
That is correct.
Plenty of runtime.
Apologies. No problem. All right, that concludes item 10. Seeing that Mr. Barnett Woods is not with us yet, let us proceed to item 11, which will be managed by Council Member Garces.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. The proclamation for Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month is Mes de la Herencia Hispana y Latina from September 15, 2025 to October 15, 2025. Recognizing Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month in Cheverly and celebrating the heritage and culture of Hispanics and Latinos and the immense contribution the Hispanic and Latino communities have made to enrich the town of Cheverly. whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is an official celebration of American citizens whose ancestry can be traced back to Spain, Mexico, Central and South America, and the Caribbean, a recognition that started as a week-long celebration in 1968 by the federal government and is now celebrated across the United States. And whereas the start of the Heritage Month of September 15th is significant as several Latin American countries celebrate their independence from Spain on this day, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Mexico and Chile also celebrate their independence on September 16th and 18th, respectively. And whereas 20 years later, the celebration was expanded to dedicate a full month of recognizing the generations of Hispanic and Latino American men and women who have positively influenced and enriched our society. And whereas Hispanic Heritage Month uplifts a cultural legacy that shares value deeply rooted in rich traditions that harbor a deep commitment to family and community, and enduring work ethics and perseverance to succeed and contribute to society. And whereas the purpose of Hispanic Heritage Month is to create awareness of the contributions of people of Hispanic and Latino heritage to American culture. Many people of Hispanic and Latino heritage serve as civil rights leaders, community organizers, politicians, teachers, journalists, first responders, artists, healthcare professionals, athletes, inventors, entertainers, and more. And whereas, in keeping with the national theme, Collective Heritage, honoring the past, inspiring the future, we encourage everyone to celebrate the deep cultural tradition and historical achievements of Hispanic and Latino communities while looking forward to future innovations and contributions. And whereas, as of 2023, the Hispanic and Latino American workforce has increased to 31.8 million in the United States, and the labor force participation rate of 67% is among the highest of any race or ethnicity. And whereas Hispanic and Latino Americans are integrated and dedicated members in all levels of government, including the Supreme Court, Congress, the House of Representatives, state legislatures, county councils, and local elected officials. Whereas members of the Hispanic and Latino American communities have contributed to the town of Cheverly through diversity and active participation as elected officials, town staff, volunteers, and board members. And whereas Hispanic and Latino Americans are currently being unjustly targeted, let me read that one more time, I apologize. Whereas Hispanic and Latino Americans are currently being unjustly targeted under the false pretense of immigration enforcement, a campaign that inflicts harm, divides families, and fuels fears in communities across the nation. And whereas that is a very tongue twister. The disproportionate targeting of Hispanic and Latino Americans makes it imperative that we observe Hispanic Heritage Month not only as a celebration, but as a call to action, to uplift voices, defend rights, and strengthen solidarity in our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Town of Cheverly Council does hereby proclaim September 15, 2025 through October 15, 2025 as Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month in the Town of Cheverly. We encourage the community to celebrate our collective progress shared with the Hispanic and Latino communities, learn from the strengths that derive from their diversity, and honor a shared spirit of self-determination, dignity, and respect for cultural heritage.
Thank you, Councilmember Garces, for reading that. If you can sign it and start passing it this way, the entire mayor and council will sign it. And it is official that in 4 days we will be beginning this month-long celebration. Okay, I'm going to just move on then to item 12 on the agenda, the ethics ordinance. This is underlined, so anyone who would like to speak on it is invited to come up and speak for up to 3 minutes. Let's make sure we do that before anyone makes a motion concerning the ordinance. I will read the summary, and then, but before that, let me just say this is a complete rewrite of the ethics chapter. So we have, as you may notice from the text, deleted the entire ethics code and replaced it with what's in here. So that's why this is a very significant document. This is the third reading, and so council, before we leave tonight, we will be voting up or down on adopting this chapter of the town code. Ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the Town of Cheverly to repeal in its entirety and reenact Chapter 3, known as the Code of Ethics of the Town Code. Whereas 5801 of the General Provisions article of the Annotated Code of Maryland requires municipal corporations to enact ethics laws and requires that the State Ethics Commission approve all municipal ethics ordinances. And whereas the Mayor and Council of the Town of Cheverly desires to maintain the highest trust in their public officials and employees. And whereas the Mayor and Council deem it necessary and in the public interest to repeal the current Code of Ethics and reenact new ethics laws by adopting model provisions contained in the Code of Maryland regulations, known as COMAR, to reflect what is currently required under Maryland law. Mr. Deloach, is there anything you would like to add for public consumption before I turn to the council? Hearing none, you're welcome to jump in. Mr. Deloach or Mr. Galloway, council, do you have any comments or questions before we proceed?
No comments from me.
Are there any members of the public who would like to speak on this draft ordinance, either online or in person? Hearing no input, I'll ask for a motion from the council.
Motion to approve and adopt ordinance 02504.
There's a motion to adopt ordinance 2025 number 404. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Legloahec. Is there any discussion of the motion? Should we wait for Councilmember Garces? What do we think?
I don't know, we have quorum.
Well, I guess we can vote. That's okay. We have 4 votes. We still have a quorum. All right, so Councilmember Garces is absent from this particular vote. Councilmember Wade is not here, and Councilmember Fry was excused. So the 4 of us will call the question on this item. All those in favor of the motion to adopt 02504?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? With the mayor's 4th affirmative vote, the motion passes 4-0. The ordinance is adopted, and we have a new ethics code. Congratulations, everyone. This should be very good news. All right, seeing that Mr. Barnett Woods has joined us, Brian with a Y, well, I'll just introduce this item now. So we're back to 9B, Planning Board appointment. Mr. Barnett Woods has run the gauntlet of the planning board and comes fully endorsed by them. We thank him for his willingness to serve. Council, is there a motion? Mr. Tanzi or Mr. Ward 2, did you want to make the motion?
I recommend that Brian Barnett Woods be appointed to the Cheverly Planning Board.
All right, there's a motion to appoint Brian Barnett Woods to the Cheverly Planning Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? With the mayor casting the 4th affirmative vote, the motion is adopted. Congratulations, Mr. Barnett Woods. You are a member of the Cheverly Planning Board. All right. I believe we are now... Did you want to say anything? Why don't you come up and just say a word, if the council can indulge us, since you made the trip over here. Go ahead. Just, the podium's more reliable, I think. Just go to the podium.
Hi, good evening. I'm Brian Barnett Woods. Thank you for the appointment. I very much look forward to serving on the Cheverly Town Planning Board. Cheverly has a lot of great things to offer, and I hope I can help make everything a little bit better as we move forward and grow. So, thank you. Take care.
Thank you for all of the work that you will do. Mr. Tanzi.
Brian, since the town is watching, can you give us a little bit of background so people know what you're going to bring to the board?
Sure. Professionally, when I'm not, I mentioned yesterday to the planning board, when I'm not being a resident of Cheverly, I am a professional city planner. I work for the city of Rockville as a principal transportation planner. Before that, I worked for Prince George's County Planning Department. I helped draft the Greater Cheverly plan that is current for Cheverly now, the pedestrian or the master plan of transportation, other community plans, the new zoning ordinance. I was on the team to bring that aboard and looking at new policies and regulations and how we can have better policies to improve multimodal transportation and safety. And so I think it'll be great to bring some of that experience to where I live in the community. So thank you.
Mayor, if I can.
Yes.
During COVID, I was able to build a great relationship with Brian Barnett Woods, and then working with the Maryland City County Managers Association, one thing that he left out was he was the MML MCCMA Maryland City County Managers Association Employee of the Year in 2024, is that correct? 2024. So yeah, he's definitely made an impact in planning throughout the state. So just happy that he's on the planning board and we're going to be able to benefit from his knowledge. So thank you so much for serving.
Wonderful, thank you. I had forgotten about that award, so that's great news. And thank you, Councilmember Tanzi, for helping to pull this together and make it happen as early as it could. This is wonderful news. And again, huge thanks to the existing members of the planning board for their work and their help in getting this done in September to help bolster their ranks. I think we are on to item 14 because we delayed the town administrator's report, so it is time for the police department.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. We'll start with personnel staffing and training. CPD currently has one student officer in her 10th week of training in the Prince George's County Police Department's Police Academy Session 154, and we've hired 2 additional officers. One started Sunday and one starts September 22nd, both of which are experienced police officers. So when they come, they will have to complete some training to receive their certification through Maryland, but it won't be as extensive as an entry-level police officer. And I want to talk real briefly about Lieutenant Gleason. And Mayor, I may defer to you for a little more detail on this since I know you were there and I wasn't. Our lieutenant was appointed to the Maryland Task Force on in-custody restraint-related death investigations. He was nominated for this position by the Maryland State Police Superintendent, and he was appointed directly by Governor Moore. So Mayor, if I could have you speak a little bit more on that.
Yeah, this is just a tremendous honor for the town of Cheverly. I think there are 16,000 police officers in the state of Maryland, something on that order. And so to be selected by the governor to appear or to be appointed and serve on a use of force task force is a huge credit to Lieutenant Gleason, but also to the town of Cheverly. And this is an immensely important task force that I know is very important to our community as Maryland still struggles with use of force and use of force, particularly with restraints in many Maryland communities. So congratulations to Mr. Gleason.
Well, thank you, sir. All right, back to training. Our officers have all just completed shield training. And they utilize these shields when, well, many different instances, but they're mostly known for entering into high-risk situations, active shooting situations at schools. We've completed training up at Spelman. We did this with some of the staff present up there, and we just met with the principal for St. Ambrose to conduct training, active shooting response. So we'll be working on that. Let's see here. We just did finish, and Mayor was there. Executive Command staff attended the Maryland Chiefs and Sheriffs Association annual conference this past week, and this will be our final conference for the year. CPD officers have deployed with the Prince George's County Police Department's WAVE unit, auto theft unit, in regard to the slight uptick in stolen vehicles and theft from autos within the town. We've adjusted schedules and brought in manpower over the weekends and the nights where these occurrences have been on the uprise. We also, Sergeant Jackson has taken the lead in tracking, monitoring each and every one of these investigations, working very closely with the county police and all of our surrounding jurisdictions, putting out the BOLO reports, be on the lookout, ensuring, that the updated information is just continuously put out. A lot of the crimes we experience here in Cheverly, when it comes to the stolen vehicles or theft from autos, they're occurring right down the street. But a lot of that information, because of the work that Sergeant Jackson's doing, is now being shared. So we kind of get a heads up when we know it's coming. And that helps us a great deal. And it's also helping with solving these crimes expeditiously. I know that we had a trend 2 weeks ago, and Metro Transit Police actually stopped and arrested the suspects at the Metro, and they were wanted for multiple offenses in our town. So we're grateful to have that working relationship and to have his experience as a detective for the Cheverly Police Department. Day work shifts have been assigned to both schools for start and dismissal times, considering all the current events going on in the country right now. So we will be there. Besides being on a call for service, we'll take precedence over that, but if they're not, they will be at the schools. And finally, for our community engagement, members of CPD are working with town staff, getting ready for Cheverly Day. And on top of that, the 30th and 31st of October will be our haunted house at the PD. So we will be soliciting volunteers for that event. And Mayor and Council, tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, we did change the time for our awards and cookout with the CPD. It's at 4 p.m. We would love for you and your families to come if you can. If you have to come a little later, that's fine too. We'll be there for a while. So please stop by and join us with our officers and their families to show them the appreciation that I think they absolutely deserve.
Thank you for that. I have 3 short items that I promised I would ask you about. You guys, the police department's welcome to get back to me on the first, on actually any of them. One is red light camera update for the bridge, which might be Mr. Galloway, I don't know. The other 2 are very specific to the police department. One is a question that I received about unmarked vehicles. The use of unmarked vehicles is increasingly concerning just generally in the community. And so I think what folks are asking me is, what is the rationale for the town of Cheverly using unmarked vehicles? We think it sends a bad message. We think it's actually not bad. There's nothing bad happening, but it looks bad because the vehicle's unmarked. And you don't know that it's a good guy until the guy gets out of or gal gets out of the vehicle and you see the Cheverly uniform. So is this necessary for our community? I think the second question is also thorny, but not in a different way, or just complicated, and that is communications. I guess what I want to do is make sure that we're consistent on communications, and we can start with the October newsletter on what to do, who to call when you need the police, when you need the Cheverly Police. Several folks have approached me with an idea that we've all heard before, which is why can't Cheverly Police have our own phone number? Why can't we have a duty cell phone, et cetera? Again, a very complicated answer to that question. So I'd like to message out what we want to do on that, or what we're saying, which I think is just always call 911. But I'm going to throw that in your lap, and then you're welcome to get back to me if you don't want to get back to me tonight.
So Mayor, I'll take a shot at the first one as it relates to the red light cameras. The chief, the deputy chief, and myself, along with Corporal Becker, we've been working with our partner, Ultimate. They've submitted, they've went through the proper stages through the state. Now we're just waiting on PEPCO to move forward with their process. Our vendor has forwarded me emails, so now I'm in the process of contacting the government representative to assist us in moving their process a little faster. So we anticipate this being done as soon as possible. This has been a longer process. We do recognize that, but right now it's a bit out of our control. We are working with the councilwoman's office as well, and she's also applying pressure to PEPCO. So we're trying to do a full court press on this as it relates to the red light cameras.
Okay, can we let us help you a little bit by just, if you can tell the PEPCO's government affairs folks that if they haven't solved it by October 11th, we'd like them at the October town meeting to explain why they haven't solved it.
Sure.
I hope that helps you, not makes it harder. I'm trying to make it easier on you by making us the bad guy, and that will give them an action forcing date by which to solve the problem that they should have solved for you already.
No problem. Thank you
Sorry,
so much.
go ahead.
I'll turn it over to Deputy Chief now.
All right, I'll take a stab at number 2. Unmarked vehicles. Less than 20% of our fleet is unmarked, okay? We put a great deal of time and effort and energy into selecting the vehicles. Listen, nobody understands the concerns going on in our community and surrounding community more than we do with ICE coming in and out. We do not and will not enforce immigration laws, period, dot, the end. Unfortunately, unmarked vehicles are necessary, not even deterrent for crime. What we'd all like as police chiefs and executives and just officers in general is to deter all crime. But there is occasions where we have to stop it in progress, okay? And in order to stop it in progress, you need an element of surprise. You do. If you pull up fast to a breaking and entering in progress, or some suspect that's assaulting someone, that person is going to flee if they see a marked police car, whereas you are able to track and surveil them from an unmarked vehicle. When we picked pickup trucks, we knew it was the only vehicle that's unmarked that ICE does not drive. They drive larger size SUVs. When we wear our uniform and we wear that outer vest carrier, we wear blue and gray, which is the opposite of what ICE wears. So we obviously need to keep a happy balance in this town and everyone safe. That's our job, is to keep everyone safe. So unfortunately, we're using the minimal amount of unmarked vehicles we can. But Mayor, I think you know, because I believe the night you did a ride-along, you were an unmarked. You have to be able to actually see things in progress that you will not see in a marked car in order to stop it from occurring. And so that's kind of where we are with that.
I think two things I would add to that is, number one, only our sergeants drive unmarked vehicles. So at least you can know that our unmarked pickup trucks are being driven by our most experienced supervisors.
And command staff.
And command staff. And number two, and tell me if this is not wrong, but the only unmarked vehicles that Cheverly uses are, probably shouldn't tell the bad guys this because they're listening too, but we don't use any unmarked vehicles besides the pickup trucks. So if you see an unmarked SUV, It's not Cheverly.
Well, I have one. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So I was wrong.
But I have one, and that's it. Sergeant Byler has one that's bright blue. But other than that, it's the black pickup trucks.
Okay, so it's not a blanket statement, but,
They're not driving it right now.
all right. Vice Mayor, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I think part of the issue is that, I mean, I feel like I'm really aware of what's going on and in tune and probably much more so than is good for my mental health. And I would never even think, well, ICE doesn't use pickup trucks, they only use SUVs. That is not something that I think is common knowledge. Or ICE doesn't wear blue and gray. I think we're in a place right now where if people see cars that are not immediately recognizable as Cheverly cars pulling someone over, and if they're not close enough to see the Cheverly badge, they're gonna be worried. And they probably should be because of the current situation, because of what's happening, and we've all seen the videos. And I know we're a particularly vigilant town. And so my concern is that if we have too many false alarms, and there have been 3 that I'm aware of where the community has been activated because they think there is ICE and it turns out it is Cheverly, that it's going to become a boy who cried wolf situation. And so I'm not saying we should not use unmarked vehicles, because I know and I hear what you're saying, that there are situations where they are helpful and necessary. But I just want to make sure that we're being reasonable about what we think people can see and identify, and just sort of understanding that we're not in a place where we're looking very closely at badges or we're looking at SUVs versus pickup trucks.
And I totally agree. I would like to respond to that by saying I can tell you in the last 2 months, I have received over 30 phone calls or text messages from citizens, mayor, council, asking me if ICE is at the shopping center or if ICE is at the apartments. And each and every time, I either go myself or I send an officer to confirm it. I can tell you at least 10 times that alarm was sounded for a marked Cheverly police car. So unfortunately, we have part-time officers that aren't Cheverly police officers that work at both the hotel, Aldi's, the shopping center, and now some in the apartments. And they're driving unmarked Impalas. They're some sheriff's deputies, some other municipalities. So unfortunately, every time one parks at Aldi's, I get that call. I can tell you that out of those 30 plus incidences, it was absolutely not ICE. And I don't mind checking, I don't mind, but we're not going to be able to stop just officers in general. I was shocked, I'll be honest, shocked several times when it was a marked Cheverly officer that they were calling on, but I get it, we're in that state. So, for me, I think it's, again, a happy balance of, keeping our community safe. And coming from my background, I know that unfortunately we have to have that ability to deter and prevent and actually solve some of the crimes that do occur in Cheverly. So that's kind of my stance. I do understand, but I think it's something we just need to weigh out.
Mayor, may I jump in here?
Nope.
Yes, Chief, go ahead.
Yeah, so first of all, good evening, everyone. I want to point out a number of things that some of it accentuates what the Deputy Chief said, but I'm just going to point to the reality of some things. And I've spoken on this previously in an open session with regards to this. First and foremost, I want to make it abundantly clear, and I cannot state this any clearer than this. federal agencies, I don't care if it's ICE, DEA, ATF, FBI, or any other federal agency, has as much jurisdiction in the town of Cheverly as they do anywhere else in the United States. And if they're conducting an investigation, the Cheverly Police Department, the Prince George's County Police Department, the Maryland State Police cannot hinder nor interfere with that federal investigation. So even if ICE is operating in a town, as the Deputy Chief has made it clear, the more than 30 times that we've responded to reportings of ICE, as recently as last week, when and you're aware of this, when they said that ICE was at St. Ambrose, and I sent both of you a picture of me in full uniform. It was me waving to the parents and to the children and helping kids get out of the car, and frankly being thanked by the parents for being there. Clearly I'm not ICE. But if ICE is operating, if ICE were to operate or conduct an operation in the town, please understand, as your chief of police, I cannot and I will not, nor will I subject the Cheverly Police Department or the town to interfering or hindering an investigation that's conducted by a federal law enforcement agency. That's a violation of the law, and suffice it to say, I don't want to be put in a set of handcuffs, and I know that it's already occurred in other places in the United States. So we're not going to hinder that investigation. As it relates to the use of unmarked cars, unmarked vehicles are just a part of our daily operation. As the Deputy Chief indicated, we use them not necessarily for covert operations, but we certainly use it for traffic enforcement, particularly to catch those reckless and aggressive drivers, DUIs, individuals operating while texting. It gives us flexibility in policing. We are in the process of standing up a detective bureau. That will be plainclothes officers. Plainclothes officers operate unmarked vehicles. It also avoids, frankly, avoids creating panic and tension, because sometimes marked vehicles draw a greater concern to sensitive situations, and unmarked cars, the use of them have a police presence that is or may be less intrusive. The other piece that I want to make abundantly clear is that, and Mayor, you stated earlier, there's 16,000 police officers in the state of Maryland. There are 3,000 police officers, approximately 3,000 police officers that operate in Prince George's County, between the Prince George's County Police, the Sheriff's Office, the 23 municipalities, the state police, U.S. Park Police, and a host of other federal agencies. So unmarked cars are just very much a reality. Nearly 1/3, probably more than 1/3 of the Prince George's County Police Department is unmarked vehicles, because every lieutenant and above operates unmarked, as well as all of the detective bureaus. And that, suffice it to say, that applies to all of the law enforcement agencies surrounding us. So even if Cheverly said we were going to go with completely marked vehicles, which, by the way, would have a budgetary impact on the upfitting, because it's a significantly higher cost of upfitting those vehicles. And if the mayor and council determine that that's a policy they want to go with, then they're just going to have to increase the budget and accommodate that. But we're not going to eliminate unmarked vehicles being in and out of the town of Cheverly. It's an unrealistic expectation. So I think we do better managing the expectations of our community. Our unmarked vehicles, when they're operated right now, are operated by uniformed police officers, including your chief of police and your deputy chief of police. So when we step out of that vehicle, we are clearly identified as a Cheverly police officer in a Cheverly uniform. So I can appreciate the community's concern, but I think that a lot of this is, I think a lot of the concern may be warranted in other parts of other areas, but we're not seeing this in Cheverly. We're just not seeing, ICE has, to my knowledge, no member of Immigration Customs Enforcement has ever conducted an operation in Cheverly. And I can point to some of the reasons why is because we have good laws and good policies in place and good ordinances that make sure that we don't have people congregating in areas that draw attention, that might draw the attention of that particular agency, federal agency, to suggest that they need to go into areas and take some sort of enforcement action. So I think it's a credit to our community that we've got good policies in place and good enforcement measures in place and good ordinances in place that your Cheverly Police Department enforces with the support of the mayor and council through the code that helps our community stay safe.
Thank you for that. Council, anything additional for the police department? I appreciate all that, and we'll circle back on the comms question. I think we're all on the same page. I don't think, I think what your advice is that the only thing that's feasible on the communication side is to call 911 and ask for a Cheverly officer. I am also messaging to people, don't bother calling Prince George's non-emergency unless you need to talk to the office because they've got your car or you need a police report or something. If you need an officer for any reason, and it doesn't have to be, any reason, don't you do the triage. The call takers do the triage. If you think there's anything interesting going on, call 911 and ask for a Cheverly officer and be honest with the call taker about what's going on, and they will triage it and they will get a Cheverly officer to you. So unless there's any unless you have anything to add, like I got wrong there, I think that's probably what we're going to go with. Go, Chief, did you want to say something?
Yeah, no, Mayor, you're absolutely right, and the dispatchers will triage it. The one thing that we'll add is, and I look at the CAD reports every morning that are produced. They're auto-generated, so I can see exactly what calls for service were dispatched in the town, and I can see every agency that was on that call. So, for example, we may have an accident on 202 where there's 4 units on the scene. 2 of them are Cheverly, 2 of them are Prince George's County ID units. I can see every eviction that occurs, and there are sheriff's offices or tack-ups for paperwork. So we get that report, and I can tell you that every bit of 99% of the calls for service are handled by Cheverly. Where we're having the challenge is the call that goes in. The county police department has a telephone reporting unit. That telephone reporting unit takes calls for service. When calls for service, it's not an active crime in progress. And the idea there is it keeps officers 10-8 on the street, in service on the street. And we see that when I see the type of call for service and it's cleared under a Prince George's County ID number. And then we check back and we find out that it went to the telephone reporting unit. So it may have been a theft that occurred in the middle of the night. There's no suspect information. There's no scene to process. There's no evidence. What we would encourage is, because we do want to be the agency that responds, is if our residents or if the dispatcher says we're going to forward you to the telephone reporting unit, specifically request, I'd prefer to have an officer respond, specifically a Cheverly officer, and that will help us to make sure that we get those calls. Even the calls that go to the telephone reporting unit, we still follow up on those to make contact if there's investigative measures that need to be taken. So, and then as it relates to the communications, what we can't, one, there's an officer safety issue to this. If everything is dispatched through communications, that dispatcher knows where every officer is on that channel at any given time. And that's for the safety of the officers, because if a call is dispatched or an officer generates a traffic stop, self-generated, and they call out on that information, they're responded to a theft call, they're responded to a breaking and entering or anything else, that dispatcher's tracking. And if that officer doesn't key up within a certain amount of time, the dispatch will get an alarm and they're going to check on the status of that officer. If we've got officers being dispatched by telephones, it's going to put our officers' safety at risk.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Council, anything additional for the police department? All right, thank you both for your help.
Mayor, if you
Yes.
will, I'll work with the chief and the deputy chief on some type of community education thing. So I'll work with them so that we can put it out, because everyone doesn't watch the town meetings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
No, that's
I'm
great.
cool.
It might be a great item for your slideshow that's on the TV as well. Acting Director Cardenas, what news do you bring us?
I'm sorry.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. 62nd Avenue sidewalk. VMP has started the sidewalk project at 62nd Avenue. They are currently building the retaining wall. Once this phase is complete, they will proceed with the backfilling and continue with the installation of the sidewalk, which they already finished today. Vice Mayor, so happy for that. Then we have WSSC updates. Task Order 201 update. WSSC has begun redoing the trench work was previously identified as an issue. These follows are early complaints regarding the quality of the initial work earlier in the year. Our team will be meeting with WSSC on September 19 to discuss the completion of the work on the trenches. The completion of the work on the trenches. The broken valve at 6400 Forestville, we have been made aware of the broken valves on 6400 block of Forest Row and the 29th block of Hillside Avenue. We have been in contact with WSSC. They are working to repair it as soon as possible. Just I want to update that 6400 block Forest Row valve has been fixed. The only one left is the 2900 block of Hillside. Just wanted to let residents know that to be patient because that specific pipe is more than 100 years old. So they have to be really careful when they're going to fix that valve because due to the years of the valve. Last Cheverly prom, Public Works supported the Cheverly prom. We assist by setting up, monitoring, and breaking down the event. It was a successful event.
Excellent, thank you. Are we okay on the HVAC in this building? Okay. Mr. John spoke to me at Chev Prom and was going to investigate whether there was some kind of fault in the electricity on the HVAC. And huge thanks to Public Works for supporting the event and consistently trying every 10 minutes to get the air conditioning colder and colder and colder. So we're very appreciative of that. But I just wanted to double check more broadly, the HVAC's okay?
Contractor came in today to remedy the problem, so we're good to go.
Excellent. All right. And thank you, Mr. Cardenas, for coming out to 5701 to meet us last week. That was tremendously helpful to take a look at the park, and thank you for the department's continued commitment to work on that project. Trash cans look great, and the other improvements look great. Council, anything for the Public Works Department? Yes. Let's go with Councilmember Garces. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, Luis. Appreciate all the work you put in, man, as well as the Public Works. Just thank you overall, man. You guys do a great job. Amazing work. You guys never fail to amaze me or anyone in town, so thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
When I tell you that I cried when I saw that sidewalk because I was so happy, I am not even exaggerating. You can ask my family. In 2017, I emailed the then mayor and council and said, this is so unsafe, we need to do something. And I was told there really wasn't anything we could do. And then I ran for council, and it was really hard. I mean, I will say that. It was not easy. There were a lot of really huge barriers to getting a sidewalk on 62nd Place. But the fact that children can walk to school from 202, from the apartments, from Neighbor Lane, and people can walk to church on sidewalks the whole way, rather than having to walk in the street at an intersection where people make really fast turns without looking, is remarkable. And Mr. Galloway and Mr. Brayman and Mr. Cardenas and the whole Public Works team have been amazing, and they have saved lives thanks to this sidewalk. So I just want to say how grateful I am. Look, I'm going to cry again. It really means a lot, and it's really going to make a big change for a whole lot of people who walk up that street every day. So thank you. And I had a question. Inwood Street has no parking signs for WSSC between 63rd and Laurel. Is that part of the trench work, the task order 201? Great, thank you.
That's fantastic. When do we start leaf vacuuming? Somebody had to use the L word tonight. Is it November?
November.
Yeah, okay, all right. We'll keep an eye out. Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments from council for Public Works? Thank you, Mr. Cardenas. I know it's going to be a busy 27 or so days to Cheverly Day, so thank you for all your help.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Garces.
Yeah, man, great work. Just hoping, that pathway also, gets put some work on, Just saying.
All right, then. I think that takes us to Mr. Galloway's report.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. For the sake of time, I'm going to be short because of, there's been a long meeting and Thursday night football and a few other things. But, I will say, just jokingly, Mr. Cardenas has been doing a great job as the acting director. So I'm happy that he's on board and he's moving forward. And when I first got to Cheverly, one of the things that Councilmember Briner at the time indicated to me was that was a safety concern. So I'm so happy that this has, become final. One thing that I will be speaking with Councilmember Briner about, Vice Mayor Briner about, is installing a mirror there, because whenever you're going down 202 and you're making the right turn onto 62, there's still somewhat of a blind spot. So I just want to make sure that we're doing all that we can do to protect the pedestrians that are walking along 202 and 62nd. Well, 62nd. So thank you all so much for that. Mayor, Council, one of the things that I do want, I know we did a moment of silence earlier, but I do want to pay homage to everyone that served in the armed services and the people that made the ultimate sacrifice on 9/11. That was one of those moments in history where you know where you were. I was a freshman in high school, and I remember evacuating the school and everyone going to the football field in North Carolina just because of the unknown. So it still gives me chill bumps thinking about that day, but we keep those families and the people that made the ultimate sacrifice and their families in our thoughts and our prayers. But moving forward with my town management report, Mayor and Council, the Red Cross Sound the Alarm event. Just so that you know, this event will begin at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Volunteers from the Red Cross will be here checking alarms in areas of Ward 2 and in tuxedos. So they will have on red vests. In the event that you do see people walking around, they will be volunteering and checking the alarm and replacing fire alarms in that area. So that's just a point of information for you all. Mayor and Council, I had a meeting with the Finance Department and the auditor. We are looking good for another on-time audit. So I'm definitely excited about that. We're waiting on some documents to close out, but I'm optimistic that we will be receiving those documents from the vendor who I've requested those documents from. Mayor and Council, I know I've been talking a lot about a business roundtable. I'm looking at November the 11th or 12th, depending upon when we receive our UNO for the Ely building. I will communicate that information. I know I get a few looks, but that is kind of beyond our control. We're pushing the contractor, okay? And we anticipate getting that UNO the week of September the 22nd. So that's where we are there. Just a brief update on the house on Carlisle. I know that there was a house that folks have been complaining a lot about with overgrowth and debris. That was taken care of today by the debris, the overgrowth that was taken care of by one of the town contractors. And just so that you all know, We're going to continue to assess that property, but we will continue to maintain the maintenance of that property. So we'll go through our normal policy and procedure there and how we move forward with building. I just wanted to give the mayor and council an update. Town staff, we receive tickets to go to the Washington Nationals and the Baltimore Orioles game once a year. Town staff attended the Washington Nationals game on August the 15th and the Baltimore Orioles on July the 26th. They had a great time. So we get a grant every year from both organizations to send staff and family, and we're just excited that we're able to participate in going to those meetings or those games. WSSC walk-in meeting. Please, Mayor and Council, if you're able to attend, I highly recommend that you come out next Friday at 9 a.m. And if you do come out, please let us know so that we can have a good space for you on the cart. So please RSVP with me at least by Tuesday so that we can have enough carts and food ordered. The WSSC executive team will be here along with the general manager. This is the second year that we've done this. Cheverly was a trailblazer and communicating with the general manager and with WSSC as it relates to municipal problems. Thus, in return, on a yearly basis, we have a municipal and meeting with WSSC. So we're excited about this. I don't know of any other municipality that has made the request and it's been granted, but we're definitely looking forward to that meeting. Just to provide a brief update as it relates to the Cheverly Station re-inspections, that will take place the first week of October. The Cheverly Station, the management team there, they've been notified that we will be back to re-inspect with DPI and with the fire board. So they have been put on notice that we will be back to inspect. So this as a matter of an update for the Youth Council. Applications are now open for the Cheverly Youth Town Council. The council offers students in grades 10 to 12 with 2 youth advisors, ages 18 to 22. Mayor and council, you all have received that information through prior email, but also through news and announcements. The application deadline will remain open until September the 19th at 5 p.m. And we look forward to your recommendation and vote at the September the 25th work session. Mayor and council, well, Mayor, would you like to talk about the retreat?
Oh, yes. I promised Mr. Galloway that I would browbeat all of you to let him know tonight, if possible, if you have a conflict with either of the November dates for the mayor and council retreat. So please let him know, I would say by latest tomorrow, if you know that it's definitely not going to work for either the 7th, 8th, or 21st, 22nd.
So the 7th or the 21st would be just the evening, okay? And then Saturday would be the majority of that day. Okay, weekly events, Mayor and Council, just to let you know, we put in our cadence to send an update for the next 3 weeks. At the beginning of the week, you all received that. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to continue to do that on a weekly basis so that you all will know what's happening for the next 3 weeks. So,
thank you for doing that.
Fall MML conference will be in Deep Creek Lake, October the 11th through the 14th. If you are interested in attending, please confirm please confirm with Miss Richards. It's going to be in Deep Creek. And last but not least, the PGCMA January meeting will be hosted by the town of Cheverly. So it will be hosted in the new Ely building. We look forward to hosting our municipal partners throughout the county. And Mayor and Council, if you all would like for us to work out the logistics for it, we most certainly can, or if you, okay? I see some head shakes.
Yes, please do.
All right, we'll do that, and, we'll
I
make
mean, I
sure.
kind of defer to Councilmember Wade because he's a board member. I don't think Councilmember Fry's on the board anymore, but
No.
I'm more removed from either one of them, so, but I think, yeah, we don't have any grand designs for
Okay.
dinner, or so if your team can handle the prep for that.
We definitely will. We'll make sure that we represent good.
Yeah, dinner just needs to be better than everyone else's.
We'll do that.
Just a little bit better, though, not a lot.
We often do that, though. Mayor and Council, that concludes my report. If you have any questions about any other matters, I'm here to address them.
Councilmember Tanzi.
I am speaking to a constituent's concern. I was approached this past Tuesday by a Ward 4 resident who likes to use the track around the town park field and would like to know when the track will be rebuilt and completed after the construction of the Public Works building. He also asked if the width was going to be the same as it was before or if it would be wider, since he says it is currently narrow enough that you can't pass people.
That's a great question, and if you look at that area today opposed to last week, there's been a tremendous amount of grading for the new track to be installed. We anticipate that track being open and operable by September the 27th. So we anticipate.
Well said. September 27th. Okay, that's great.
I have two questions.
27th, by 27th.
Yes, you
By the
anticipate
birthday.
by the 27th,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Councilmember Legloahec, 2025. He said 2025. John.
My first question is, do we have a link to the fall MML that we can look at the program? And my second question is regarding the Youth Council update. I was actually contacted by one of my constituents who asked about, are there any restrictions about if a member wants to join the Youth Council, and for example, this resident asked me, say they don't do their chores or do their homework in a timely manner, can they get kicked off the Youth Council?
I'll defer to Ms. White. Ms. White, are you available to answer those questions?
Hello, everybody. I am online. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say the Youth Council is not monitoring your grades nor a disciplinary council. I will, of course, encourage all students and working students, whatever it may be, on the Youth Town Council to maintain great home and school life. And we will also we will have them vocalize what their weaknesses are and how we can help with that. For example, if they have trouble communicating with others, we can look into getting a communication guide in to kind of bridge that gap. And so we will absolutely pay attention to areas they are struggling and do whatever we can to help with that. However, again, the Youth Town Council is not disciplinary, and we will not be kicking them off based off of their home and school life, and would love for anyone to apply, especially if there are areas in your life where your community could come together, and this small council, along with the Cheverly youth members in the town, can come together and encourage one another.
Thank you, Ms. White, and I'll add a little bit more to that as well. One of the things that I love about, being in Cheverly is just the community, right? there are some youth that I mentor that are in the town of Cheverly. If there's mentorship that needs to occur, they have the full support of the town staff and the resources that we have here as well. So definitely, if there's something that we need to have a conversation about, we're here to assist them, because ultimately at the end of the day, we want them to transition into the roles that you are in long term. And we want them to get a good government experience. So it's about an education experience as well while they're here. And, we want to make sure that their soft skills are being developed, because, that's one thing that the youth of today are struggling with, because they're distracted with cell phones, et cetera. So improvement upon their soft skills would be one of the things that we can definitely assist with.
Any other questions for the town administrator? Mr. Garces.
How you doing, Mr. Galloway?
Doing well.
I don't think it's, not that obvious what I'm about to ask, but it's in regarding the pathway down at Kilmer. Just seeing how that's going. I haven't really gotten an update on that, and it's still some type of, I guess, efforts of obtaining that piece of land in order for us to create, and what's the, and how's that looking?
So as far as obtaining the land, we can have a conversation about that offline with the mayor and council. But, we are in a place right now where we are in a holding pattern, unfortunately. I will be advocating to Prince George's County, and I've indicated to the county council member that I needed to speak with her about that, because we need some assistance financially to move forward with it. But also, we're just in a tough holding pattern. And I can talk to you more about that offline, just to make sure that you're aware of some of the situations that we're having. It has nothing to do with if anyone wants it or not. I think we've all decided that needs to move forward with. That was part of our strategic plan, and one of the things that's still open that we haven't addressed. But we definitely are working with it. The landowner has been cooperative, and in fact, that issue has been resolved. Just so that you know that.
Any other questions for the town administrator? Mr. Galloway, anything additional to say about the Ely building? I believe this is the final town meeting that we will hold in this building. Question mark.
We anticipate this being the last meeting.
Okay, so the ribbon cutting is on the 27th.
Yes, sir.
Anything else we should know heading into that? Anything you need from us? Mr. Garces, you had a question?
Please bring extra cake for my birthday. That's my birthday, so I'm just throwing that out there. We're expecting happy birthday as well as congratulatory Eli building.
Excellent. I think there's a market that morning as well, so we're having that for you. Okay, so the celebration will start at 1, and we'll have a program and an open tour and a ribbon cutting, et cetera.
Yes. So if you all could get there at between 12:15 and 12:30, that would be great. We're going to have a great setup. So just looking forward to that day, looking forward to the ribbon cutting. It's been a long time coming as far as that building, so we're excited about the transition of the old Public Works building to this new one.
So just to be clear, without the use and occupancy permit, we can't have the October 11th. We're not allowed to have the October 11th town meeting there.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But I'm optimistic. We've crossed all of the big hurdles that needed to be crossed. Okay.
Okay. And your team's ready to move in.
Oh, we're ready.
At an hour's notice, I
We
think.
have furniture already in the
Yeah.
offices.
Yeah.
So,
And the council members, if you haven't done the tour, it's worth doing the tour with Mr. Cardenas or Ms. Prom or Mr. Brayman when he's back. It's a pretty awesome interior. Okay, hearing no other questions for the town administrator, I think we're on to item 16, which is the review of the September 25 work session agenda and future agendas. The work session is going to be quite full. I have Green Infrastructure Committee. I have Environmental Justice Action Team. Okay, yeah, that is what that note means. That is good news. I don't have anything else written down for September 25th. What else do you have? I'm not begging for more, I'm just, go ahead.
hometown.
Now that we've been awarded this grant, do we need to talk about what we're doing with it, or is that going to be managed primarily by Public Works? But I understand there's some coordination with the hospital team and Hospital Hill team and all that. So what leadership do you need from the council on how to move forward with that?
Okay, so the grant was just made final yesterday, if you will. So now we're going to have to coordinate with the state just to figure out what our parameters are and what the expectations are from them as well. So we need to do that before. So I would say let's kick that discussion to the October work session if we can. Yeah, that's where we are. Hometown Heroes, I know was on this. We do need to keep an open running line item for grants, town grants. Maybe we might need a Cheverly date update.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Okay. Anything else for September 25th? Go ahead.
Could we just get a sort of a quick update on the speed bump implementation, seeing as this was sort of pushed forward tonight?
We sure can.
As to, do we have to go the temporary route, or will the permanent be installed? You know, just a status update.
Okay.
That's smart. Okay, hearing nothing else for September 25, what do we have for October 11th, hopefully in the Ely building? I believe, I'm sorry, it's not the 11th, it's the 9th, isn't it? Yeah, October 9th, I keep saying that. I don't,
Financial update?
yeah, I mean, I think this is budget and audit or financial update, I think is the town meeting, yeah? October 9th?
Finance update would be the town meeting. And Mayor, I do know that I made the comment of doing the audit update at the October work session. That would be fine if the audit is done the week before. If the audit isn't done the week before, I may want to kick it to the November town meeting or the work session that we have the first week of December.
All right, let's leave the audit on for October 23rd, but recognizing we might need to kick it. And then, yeah, that's what that said, budget. Anything else for October, anybody?
At some point in the fall, we're expecting recommendations and report from the election supervisors. I'm not sure if that's a town meeting or a work session, and I'm not sure when they will be ready with that, so it depends on that.
They said October work session.
October work session? Great.
Okay, that's great. I lost track of that. So BOES 1023. October work session, 10/23, 5701. CMPP was going to come and talk about 5701. And so this was our chance to make sure we're all on the same page for how to implement the existing plan for 5701 that the mayor and council adopted. CMPP will be largely done, I think, by then at 5701, but they're not available in September, which might be better just scheduling wise. So they were eyeing October 23rd, which should be the work session date. I think that's the one that I was looking through my notes for. Anything else for October? All right, hearing nothing, let us go to mayor and council announcements. Who would like to begin? Any council members with any announcements? Why are you laughing? We're not there yet. All right, I'll start then. I only have a couple items. The market is this Saturday, so please come to the market. Remember the parking restrictions. Do not park anywhere on this property between Friday night and Saturday at about 1 o'clock. Otherwise, we are going to tow you because we're done playing that game with and you know who you are. We're done. So remember the parking restrictions. Our market opens at 8 o'clock. It closes at noon. I will be doing mayor's hours in the in the Tucker Pavilion, because I'm not allowed in the Ely building because we don't have the UNO. So I will be in the Tucker Pavilion, I think at 9:30 on Saturday morning, and of course available on Zoom with ASL interpretation. I also have mayor's hours on the 22nd of September. The only other item that I wrote down was Ward 1 and Ward 2 Day, which I assume you are now going to speak about.
Sure. Yes, Ward 1, Ward 2 Block Party Community Day will take place on Sunday at 3 o'clock from 3 to 5 p.m. At the intersection of Tremont Avenue and Inwood Street, where the two wards intersect. Councilmember Wade and I will be there along with several local community groups. We hope that you will come out and join us with our residents of those streets neighboring to that. We will have a good time and enjoy each other's company for those couple of hours. And it is a bye week for the Commanders, so we won't be bothered by that. People won't be wanting to watch football. And I will just say that I thank the mayor for the moment of silence for September 11th. And 24 years ago, I was still living in New York and working in Westchester County. And it was a very long day for me. And it was a very different time then, 24 years ago, than it is now. And I just hope that we can sort of get back to the feelings that we all had in those days following September 11th, when we were just Americans, and then we weren't on the right and on the left, and we were just together as one American. Thank you.
Thank you for that. One additional item I forgot is simply to plug the Wednesday, September 17 education event that we are having here with our school board member, Amy Olivo. Please join us. Some of it is online, but it is going to be a better experience in person if you're able to join that. That is Wednesday, September 17. Are there any other announcements?
Mayor, I just need something for point of clarification while we're doing this for the work session. The green infrastructure discussion, that's going to be at the September work session, correct?
Yes, sir. 14 days from today.
Perfect. Thank
you. Seeing no other announcements, let's move to item 18. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any debate of the motion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 4-0. Have a good evening.